Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel. Glad to share with you about economics again. It is our second video. Thanks for all your comments on 1.1. Okay, you give me a lot of idea how to improve it. Thanks a lot. So I'll try to be a little bit slower to explain all the things clearly and try to divide the curriculum into smaller pieces. Don't be too rushed to talk about too much thing in a short video. So today we talk about 1.2, how do economists approach the world. It has two parts. We're still on a unit 1 introduction SL, just two sections actually. 1.2 is how do economists approach the world. First part is economic methodology. And first is talk about the role of positive and normative economics. We have two economics in the world. The first and first more important concept here is equity and equality. Equity and equality. Equity means the distribution of income and wealth is fair, about fairness. Equality means the same. The distribution of income and wealth is equal for everyone. So it is a two concept. We will encounter this thing later. First, we talk about what is the positive economics. Positive economics is thinking about economics as a science, logical thinking. We use the scientific methodology in economics, and we call it a positive economics. Actually, nothing to do with positive, but the name is positive economics. Logics, in scientific methodology, logic consists of two methods of reasoning: deduction and induction. First of all, is deduction. Deduction is that deduce something from a lot of observation. We have tons of thousands of observation. By all these observation, we find out the pattern. We find out the theory behind this observation. So we call it a deduction. Deduction is used to form the economics theory from what? From many thousand million daily life observation. Just like what happened now in the big data, right? In big data, we have a lot of information, a lot of people's behavior in the world, how they purchase the thing in the world, in the internet consumption. So we have a lot of data. By the big data, we from all this daily life observation, we have the economics theory comes out. We call it a deduction. Next part is the reverse. Is that starting from this field economics theory, we gives out a lot of implications. So induction is the opposite. Is to find out the implication of particular economics theory to the economy. So deduction and deduction comes from the observation of the real world, existing observation. They form the theory, and the theory has implication for further observation. The implication is the economics theory's predictions. It predicts that there should be this, and that kind of observation data. Please try to observe them to see whether you can find them or not. So, by the induction part, it is a testing. It's a testing of the theory. We talk about in point B. So, economists first propose the hypothesis. Of course, this hypothesis is not coming from the nothing. It's coming from their observation of the daily life. So this hypothesis should be consistent with a daily life observation. And then from this hypothesis, they build up the model. It's just a model, not theory. See, here the difference. And then build the model. And then by this model has an implication. And then try to compare this implication and then test it with a real world observation. After a few years or few months, this implication prediction is being tested. If it is consistent with the real world observations afterward, and then we said that the model is quite good, and we accept that the model is a theory. Or on the contrary, the model can't explain all the observations. There is some deviation. We try to not drop the model so quickly, not discard the hypothesis so quickly. We try to refine it. we change the model. We find the model. So we can say has a theory A, and then we have a new theory A or a new theory A, okay, whatever. So some modification. And after all this modification, okay, and then the model becomes a more and more mature, can explain more and more daily life observation, and at last, when it can explain most of the observation, never be perfect in economics, we'll explain it later, and it becomes as an economics theory. In economics, it's different from the science. We have the step from model to theory. Model is first proposition with the refinement, and then after a few years testing, some model becomes quite good, and we refine it a little bit, and then it can be explained most of the observation so far, and we call it economics theory. But in the real world, there are many economics variables are interrelated to each other, and if we want to study in a positive way, in a scientific way, so you have to study the basic, the most simple one is the relationship between two economics variables. Okay, we want to separate them two by two, pair by pair. Okay, cause and effect. Okay, the causality, and then we have this assumption of a ceteris paribus. Okay, and keeping all the other variables the same. Okay, to observe only these two economic variables relationship, and we find out this assumption is necessary and essential. But in economics, because the world is so complicated, it's impossible to do it so actually. So for economics, we always just can partially do so, partially assume or said that the deviation, the change of the other variables are negligible, and then we can try to find out the relationship between two economics variables. It is an mission impossible because we are talking about the economy, about people's behavior, not in we can't simulate it exactly in a laboratory, okay, or in a psychological test or in a university, okay. So economics is a human science. This is very important. It relies heavily on the empirical evidence found from the society. So we got the data from the society, but now I think about maybe 10 years later, thanks to artificial intelligence, okay, we can put in all this empirical evidence inside the computer. The computer can tell me, okay, by the AI, okay, what is the rules, okay, what is the real theory behind it. I look forward, you can solve the most of the economics mystery after a few years, okay. And economics is also a science. It is affordable. Fallibility is, you have learned that, okay, right? For a science or for a knowledge, okay, it have to be fallible. So why it is fallible? Because economics will have real implications. And these new implications shouldn't be observed yet, okay? It is new. So when people try to do that research to have new observations, okay, the economic theory can be proved not wrong or be proved wrong. Okay, what we can do for scientific theory is just prove it not wrong yet. Okay, by the present observation. Okay, we can never prove an economics theory to be true. Just like we find that evolution theory is quite good. Okay, but we can never say that evolution theory is proved correct. Okay, because this is a science. Okay, and normative economics is the opposite. Okay, opposite to the objectivity and fact-based or positive economics. Okay, normative economics is subjective and value-based. So is this useless? No, it's far more useful. Okay, because the real world is subjective and value-based. Okay? So normative economics provides value judgment in policy making. Okay, when you make a policy, you have to ground explanation, foundation why you spend your money in this way and not in that way to these people and not to other people. Okay, you have to have some explanation. This explanation most probably is a value judgment. Okay, not factual. To illustrate the difference, for example, equality is easy. Okay, means equal to everyone. So it is objective and can be evaluated by facts. Whether the money is distributed to all the people equally or not. Okay, it's easy. Okay, yeah, by the Gini index. Okay, you can show it. clearly, and it is still by the positive economics. Okay. On the other hand, equity okay, means fair to everyone, is subjective and can have different value judgment. Okay, people are different. Okay, how can people are different and it becomes an ego in a competition? Okay, should we help someone and not help other people? Someone is too has something so special, should we suppress it or should we accept it? Okay, to let it flourish. Okay, to let it earn more and more money. Okay, it is a normative economics. Okay, so equity is a concept that show the difference of positive economics and normative economics. And the other is about economics thoughts. Okay, you learn some of them in the IBDP curriculum, and you want to have a brief history for it. Okay. First one is the classical economics. Okay, not very long, just a start from the 18th century by the Scottish economist Adam Smith. The Wealth of the Nation. I have one book at home. I buy the copy of it, but I never really read it. Okay, it's actually too old. But this is a good thing on the bookshelf. Adam Smith developed the classical economics. Okay, he has a concept called laissez-faire. Okay, and said allow to do. Okay, allow the economy to do. He said that which he trusts that. Okay, the policy should be a minimum for the government intervention in the economy. Why? Because he said that there is an invisible hand in the world, in the economy, and this invisible hand is in the free market, is the invisible hand. And the free market will make the economy the closest to the most efficient situation by itself if there is no government intervention. No one stop it. The world will move smoothly. So this is the two Greek words, okay? Laissez-faire and invisible hand. Okay. And to Adam Smith is the free market is the invisible hand. We call it classical economics. And later on, people develop it in microscopic point of view and macroscopic point of view. It developed a classical microeconomics. Okay. After Adam Smith, okay, they applied it to the concept of utility theory. They said that utility is a degree of satisfaction of people in consumption. Okay. So how do people do this thing? Where is the invisible hand individually? And then they said that people is rational. People will compare the marginal utility and the marginal cost. They will compare it. They do their resources allocation until okay, marginal utility equals a marginal cost, and this equal is the invisible hand. Okay, for the individual's level. So individual will do so, and then the utility will be maximized by themselves as if there is no resistance or there is no intervention from the government or from the hierarchy. Okay, and we call it classical microeconomics. Remember, still invisible hand. But now the invisible hand is the maximization of utility by equating marginal utility and marginal cost. Okay. And then macroeconomics is still one has some developments. Okay, people think about what should be done. Okay, what is the invisible hand for macroeconomics in the economy as a whole? And in the early 19th century, the French economist, okay, Jean-Baptiste said, has a says law. Okay. In says law, he said that before having income to consume, okay, people have to produce something to earn the income. Oh, that's quite obvious, right? You want to spend the money, then you have to earn the money first, right? Of course, when you earn the money, you spend it, and then the spend it becomes the consumption, become a production, and then it can go on. So he said, from the point of view, the invisible hand should be in the production side first. Okay? So production comes just before consumption. Okay? So he said that to achieve economic growth, okay, government should encourage production rather than promoting consumption. And this rules the world for about a few for a long time. Okay, about this concept, production is more important and then consumption. Okay, so we got the classical macroeconomics. Okay, this is the cycle start from the production side. So it is the concept. But there's a critique on this classical point of view about whether it is smooth or not. Okay, it is by Karl Marx. Okay, in the late 19th century, German economist, okay, Karl Marx published his critique on classical economics. He said that it doesn't work. This thing doesn't work because when population growth, okay, there's a surplus in labors. Okay, so entrepreneurs will try to use this fact to suppress the wage to an not a perfect, not efficient level or too low. Okay, so the labor, the people got the value from their labor is undervalued, and the surplus goes to the entrepreneurs, okay, because of population growth. So he said that by waiting for the free economy to grow on by themselves, it doesn't work. It doesn't go to the efficient rate. Okay, the labor's waste is always being suppressed. When people want to use the labor to do the production on goods and services, the value added not all go to the laborers. Okay? Most go to the entrepreneurs because of population growth. This is the argument of Marxists. And this kind of production importance concept also have another challenge because after it rules the world for some years, okay, in 1929, okay, Great Depression happened. Okay. So people think that this kind of production comes as first, doesn't work. Okay, promotion of production doesn't have the world coming out from this Great Depression. And then at that time, British economist John Maynard Keynes, proposed this revolutionary idea of macroeconomics policy. Economic growth is achieved by promoting consumption instead of encouraging production. So just remember, it is in the background that people think production is the most important thing. And suddenly Keynes came and said, no, consumption is more important. Why he said so? Because he found out the production encouragement doesn't work, okay, especially in the Great Depression time. Okay, and then U.S. and the British government found it too. Okay, so they quickly employed the Keynes idea, and Keynes become the government officer actually. So Keynes can apply his idea quickly in the Western world. Okay, and then they increase the government spending. Government spending is a consumption, some kind of consumption, right? And to boost the economy, and it takes about 10 years successful pull the economy out from the deep recession. Okay, it took 10 years to do this social experiment, but it's absolutely favor Keynes' proposition. Okay, so consumption comes first for economic growth. So yes, so promoting consumption is the more important part. So we call it monetary point of view. Later on, you'll learn this in detail. And then modern economics, okay, people also have some kind of idea about economics. For example, before in the classical theory, they think that human beings are rational, right? Remember marginal utility, marginal cost. We are doing the mathematics in the brain and then to equate them, right? But actually, people said that no, people are not rational. Psychologists tell us, okay, so in 2002, okay, the Nobel Prize in Economics goes to a psychologist, okay, Daniel Kahneman. He said that behavior, people's behavior in consumption, production, and whatever is irrational. Okay, emotion and cognitive factor affect it to a large degree. Okay, so we have the development of behavioral economics. Okay, focusing on the irrational parts of human being in economics behavior. And later on, people think that economy cannot be separated from the world. Okay, the world affects us. So we should have look at the economy with the environment together. So we have environmental economics and ecological economics came out. Okay, in 2018, the Nobel Prizes goes to economists William Rojas and Paul Rumbus, and they first integrate the climate change into the long-run macroeconomic analysis. The long-run aggregate supply curve. Okay, they incorporate the climate change factor onto it. Okay, and they try to integrate it and they do some research and the data fits better than without its climate change addition. Okay, so it is the change. Okay, and in IBDP we are quite advanced. Okay, this modern economics theory you will encounter some. Okay, especially for the behavioral economics part. Okay, it is more sophisticated. It is from 2002. Okay, And then a lot of theory came out, so we will study some of them and you learn it. For environmental economics, we are still developing, so not many will be discussed in IBDP except for negative externality part, right? So that's the end for my sharing for 1.2. I hope this time I talk about it more in details, not in so much, okay? And I cut it out in small parts, okay? I hope my sharing is more is clear, okay, to you, okay? And I hope it helps you more. And if you really help you, okay, please subscribe, like, and share our channel with other people, okay? See you for next Tuesday, and also see you for Thursday and Sunday for chemistry and biology, right? See you guys. Bye.